Welcome to another exciting episode of Neighborhood Celebs. Today I have with me a very inspiring couple who have transformed their overweight miseries into a very joyful ride. Let's hear from Kushal and Nitya on how they reduced a major chunk of their body weight, transforming their life into such a beautiful journey.
Thanks a lot. Hi, Sharman. We are very happy to be here.
Kushal, thank you so much, both of you, for being in this show and sharing your story and journey with the listeners of Neighborhood Celebs.
This was a big pleasure, right, Savna?
Pleasure
Thanks a
is
lot.
all ours.
Thanks a lot for having us here.
So, you're here because of your incredible weight loss journey. Both of you, I've heard your story in terms of how much weight you lost, and you as well, Nitya. So you are a very inspiring couple. So I wanted to talk to you and hear your story so that a lot of people, the listeners especially, who are struggling with overweight, can take some practical tips on how to reduce weight and maintain that. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Sure.
So thank you so much for giving your time for this.
It's our pleasure.
And Savna, thanks for having us here and for those kind words.
Right. So Kushal, let me start with you.
Yeah, sure.
So when did this weight loss journey start? And before you started the journey, what was your weight?
So this journey started just before last year, January. So I'll say end of December 2023.
Hmm.
It started there, yeah. And my weight was just touched 90 kgs.
Mm.
So I was around 85 kgs for a year, but then started going upward.
Mm.
And I was already struggling with that high weight, and I was like, it cannot go further than that. That psychological barrier of 90, right?
Mm.
I didn't want to touch it. So then I started into it, but the time I started, I hit 90 for a few days, and then I started my journey from downwards from there.
Good. Okay. How about you, Nitya?
So, I was not there at 90 yet, but I reached 76 kgs actually, and it was very alarming for me. As per my height, age, and everything, that weight was putting me like even I was already overweight. I was near borderline obese. And that hit me that it's not gonna take me anywhere, and I think I need to take my life in control. So yeah, that's where. And one a sort of a side reason maybe was to actually kickstart that was actually when Kushal and I talked about it, and he said that he doesn't want to wait anymore or for even the new year to start and take that resolution and go about it. And when I saw him being so resilient about it and be so determined for it, I actually kind of got a little jealous
Okay.
that this kind of determination I also want in my life.
Okay.
And I wanted to be fit as a couple, and so yeah, I think that also helped a little. Maybe a little jealousy is not so bad.
Good. It's not so bad, especially in something like this.
Yeah,
It's
of
certainly
course.
not
Yeah,
bad.
of course.
Right. Yeah. So, what was your motivating factor?
So when I was hitting 90, right, there were a lot of things which were troubling me. From a physical standpoint, I was feeling very bulky, right? And I was having a lot of headaches, which at that time I attributed mostly to my work, right? That this is because of work it is having. I was having headache almost every other day, right? So 4-5 days a week I'm taking tablets for headaches.
Okay.
I was feeling very lethargic, right? I had this urge of eating like to my teeth out, right, sir? You are getting hungry, let's say every hour, and when you are eating through the roof. And if I'm not, let's say, eating for 10 minutes, right? Generally, you have to wait sometimes, right? For things. It makes me more uncontrollable. I was not able to control it. So for me, that was very, very, in a way, ridiculous. Ki what is this happening? I've gone through a lot of these journey before, but what is this happening, right? So that got me very alarmed, right? And also, I have seen a lot of my peers around this age, right, having a scare before they went on to their journey. And those were motivation for me in earlier in my life as well, but somehow I lost track of it again. So for me, that was a alarming point that this cannot go on further. I have bad energy levels, not fit, feeling bulky, and confidence wise also it a little weighs on you also. So I think those were things which were, let's say, making me more and more down, and I wanted to come out of it.
Were you always that bulky, after your college, you started working? Did you increase weight during that period of time?
So for me, it was always on and off. So I was not very bulky from start. I didn't have to struggle with that. But after college, after work, I started putting a lot of weight. But since I like to do trekking, I like to do some running, etc., I was able to keep in check. And then I increased to, I think, around 2016. I again went around 80, 85, something like that. But then I started on a regime of slow carb diet to reduce it again to, let's say, sub 70s. Then I again grow it up. And
marriage effect?
No, marriage was third time. Second time I again grew it up. Then I reduced it all back. But then after marriage, I think I somehow lost track of it all. So I had 2 attempts before. Before this attempt, and those were, let's say, more short-lived than this one.
Okay. So you said you put on weight after marriage, is it?
Yes. Okay. So I will not say so. Kushal was not always like bulky all the time, but I have been a big girl like all my life. So like I've been a girl with a bigger frame and a little. I think I'm on average height for a girl, but with my peers, I was actually taller than them.
Okay.
In my house also, I was the tallest, and so I have always been a bigger girl, and my body shape was also different than others. I am a pure shaped body girl. It's not a very acceptable body type in India. Like, let me tell you with personal experience. Like, even when I was in perfect BMI and I felt extremely healthy. I was, I was always energetic and everything. Then too, I have been like, sadly, it's the truth of the society. Many women face this. I'm very, like understanding of that. Like I have been body shamed left and right.
Okay.
From friends, family, peers. So because of that, I have always been very less confident about my body. I always used to hide myself in bigger clothes or like more conservative clothes and all, so that I don't have to. I was afraid of too much sports, running, because I was not confident in myself. I used to feel that nothing suits me. Like my body is very different from others. But so actually, my taking charge of my life was very difficult from health point of view because of this reason also. Because I was body shamed and I somehow kept on getting fat. I was fitter also in a time when everything was great. But later when I started getting fat, but that time I started gaining a lot of confidence, and I found self-love for me, that however I may look, however I am, this is my body, and I need to love it and respect it.
Okay.
But I think the respect part I understood later. The first journey for me was to accept what I am, how I am, and I am different from others. So to love myself, it took me a lot of time. And somehow it definitely took me further in my confidence. I got a lot of confidence. I started wearing everything I wanted to. I thought that I looked good in, or like felt free and everything. But I wasn't respecting it. That self-love journey when it took me upwards, it actually put a stopper in my life where I started taking my health as a like in a way that so what, I'm fat, but I love myself. It's important to love myself. It took me time to understand it's great to love yourself, but it's more important to respect your body and actually treat it with respect. And that's when my health journey actually started.
I agree. I completely agree and resonate with you, right? So the most important thing is, first, if you want to transform yourself, you have to accept the current situation, right? And then that's where your journey of transformation starts. And very well put forward, Nitya. Thanks for that, right? And Kushal, so now I know how you guys are able to balance, right? So it's wonderful to see such kind of bonding and support as a couple in towards health and fitness. And this is going to go a long way for you guys, right?
That's what we are planning.
Yeah. Trust me, it will. Okay. And so, Kushal, so tell me this. Uh, you guys started the journey. I know there are various diets people follow. Did you have to follow any kind of strict diets, or any? Did you pick up any fad diet programs uh, to give immediate results, or how was your diet like?
I'll take that question in 2-3 parts. So I'll start with my earlier journeys, right? Earlier journeys were more unsustainable by nature. First journey which I started was slow carb diet, where you focus more on more protein and fats, right? And you cut everything else, which is very strict in terms of nutrition. But since you are getting a lot of results, you don't focus on exercise. That goes out of balance. And since it's very strict, it's not sustainable in nature. Right? Second time when I followed, I cut down my nutrition, but focused on exercise a lot. So in a way, again, it was not balanced. So both of time, there were enough gaps in the regime so that if you stop, then you don't know how to go on from there. So basically, my earlier two journeys were means to an end. That I want to reduce my weight, right? But I didn't know if I've reduced my weight now, how to go from here. What is the path forward? I think that was a major problem I had when I was following the last two diets. They helped me get at 67, 70 kg, but I bounced back. Right? And that's what I didn't want to do this time. So I got little help to get, because see, I am not trained in nutrition, right? I'm not trained in exercise. So I found that if I have failed 2 times in, let's say, maintaining it from an overall perspective, why not get some help? So I got some help to understand nutrition, to get, let's say, how to create your meals in a better way, right? So this time around, we followed a strict diet, but it is more from that perspective that it was balanced. So first few weeks when we had our diet, right, it was like what we eat every day. But it was structured in a way that it was balanced and it was frequent.
Right.
So that when you get more proteins, more fibers in your body throughout the day, right, you feel more full. So even I was, let's say, general person generally is 2000 calories, right? At that time, I might have been eating 2500 calories because I was just letting it up, right? I went to 1200 calories and I didn't feel a difference because I was feeling more full and full because of fibers and proteins and eating throughout the day. So I think that helped from that shock of saying that when you are going on a diet, it's very strict. Right? So I think that is what worked for me a lot, that this should be sustainable.
Okay.
Right? This should not be unsustainable.
Okay.
Right? So we started from that, and then we started adding more and more things, more ingredients, etc. Also, then we started experimenting with.
I think the word diet is very bad mouthed in the society. I think people generally don't understand that being on a diet doesn't mean eating less. What it means is eating right. And I think that's what the major difference or understanding that we have learned on our health journey, that we are not eating less. We are just eating right.
Just eating right. Perfect. That's it.
And that is why we try to avoid the word diet. We talk about meals, we talk about nutrition, because you talk diet, right? Then you are putting yourself in a mental zone that this is going to get over. What we are trying to understand that this is part of your life and journey, right? How do you find a balance where you are enjoyable? Because we are big foodies, right? We love to eat.
Yeah.
And so
you guys travel.
We travel a lot. We love to experiment new cuisines, new culture. We also love cooking. We both love cooking. So we try new dishes like every now and then. So this health journey has also helped us understand how we can still cater to our love for food, but in a healthier way. So that actually opened the new gates of cuisines and recipes and dishes for us, because there were so many dishes that we had never explored. There were so many basics of cooking. I think anyone can learn cooking if they understand the basics of it. It's not that tough if you understand how 2 and 2 will become 4. So we understood the healthy side of 2 and 2 cooking and how to make it a healthier version of 4. So I think that works for us. And I am a person who gets bored of things like very like that. In every part of my life, if I'm not experiencing change, variety, like any spice, if I'm not experiencing, I'll be like, yeah, like I've seen this, done this, been there, done that. So I'm always someone who's looking for something new. And so what we try to do in our diet was also this: how can we keep eating different things throughout the week, but healthy? We were not eating boring food. We were actually exploring new bundles of joy for us. Like, oh wow, this is something that we have never explored. This can be done too. So that was very interesting, and I think it catered to our like dinner foodies of us.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, good. You guys educated yourself first in terms of what to eat, what to cook, and yes, that's the best way to maintain a healthy eating is to eat what we are naturally meant to eat, right? And that's not making big shifts in our diet. That's what will best suit our body, and that's the best way you can sustain it as well, right? And I think that has worked very well.
And we have traveled a lot during our time, right? When we went through this journey, we have traveled 2 times outside India for three weeks. We have traveled in India for almost 2-3 weeks at different times, right? So but what we were decided together is that we want to focus on our journey, but still don't stop the life. Because generally, it becomes unsustainable when you say that there's just one goal, right? Because when you come out of it, then everything breaks, shatters, and then you don't look back.
Yeah.
So we tried working, let's say, with a nutritionist to understand how is the best way we go forward when we are outside, right? Let's say we don't have food at all times. Can we get protein bars? Can we other sources? How do we take track of it and everything? That helped us be on the right path. Even let's say for one day we were not doing good, next day we were again back at it and try to figure out a day, sort a day. So even in our journeys, we didn't gain weight. We sometimes lost weight only.
That also happened when we came back from our trips. We actually lost weight.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed thoroughly. Like we ate different cuisines. We tried so many things, but we still tried to put balanced meal in our plate. Like how can we choose from the menu which can suit our requirements the best at this time?
Very good, very good. That's very thoughtful, right? So mindful eating. Whenever you go out, and when you do this kind of things, your metabolism also kind of builds. And then when you travel out, as you said, you may not always gain weight when you travel, as people always think, "Oh, I'm going out." They will before a trip or a vacation, they will just starve. Then they will reduce a lot, to compensate what they're going to get.
People go to extremes.
That's quite difficult, right? So, but this is a very good way to maintain, and being educated and being mindful are the two important ways you can actually manage your food.
Yes, and we also try that. Of course, we believe that diet is a major player when you're trying to lose weight, but at the same time, you have to stay active. That adds like into your weight loss journey.
Okay.
Like I think the major player is diet, but still, like being active is very important. It helps your body to burn fat from the right places or in the right way, and not just losing weight randomly or in an unhealthy way. So I think being active, by staying active, we trained our body to lose weight like on a wholesome level, like in a consistent manner, but not only from one, say only hands or only tummy or only thighs or something. Maybe from that sense, we were not feeling lethargic. We were feeling energetic. Yeah. Exercising taught us that exercising actually don't make you tired. It makes you more energetic in the day. Actually,
you're right. So now that you've touched my favorite or a topic of being active, I think you got to read my book. Here's my book, The Active Life Mantra.
Thanks a lot.
Amazing, yeah?
Amazing.
We didn't know about this.
Okay. So I'm a published author, and this is my book. So that's why you said, right? So you touched the favorite topic of mine, being active or leading an active lifestyle. So what we spoke about is what I've covered in this book, right? So very practical tips on how leading an active lifestyle matters, and it covers about eating right, the mindset. So that's what it is.
That's great. I'm definitely gonna go through this and recommend to my friends. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So yes, we spoke about eating. So before your weight loss journey, as a couple, how long were you married before this? I mean, how long are you married now?
Now is 4 years.
4 years you've been married.
And that time it was 3 years.
3 years. Okay. So what difference did fitness bring into your life as a couple? How did it improve your relationship?
I think
firstly, did it? And if it did, then how did it?
I think we have always been a couple who never had less topics to talk about. We are very talkative and engaging. But I think being on a health journey gave us more things to talk about and connect and relate to each other. And I think being fit and staying active actually connected us more spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
How we are feeling inside.
Mm-hmm.
How are my feelings at the moment? What was I feeling earlier? Mm-hmm. What was I feeling later? I'll tell you one thing. Like actually, it was Kushal who actually motivated me that it's great that like I mentioned earlier, that it's great that I love myself, but I need to respect it also. You won't believe, and it's possible actually. It may be the similar thing with many other people. I was actually scared of being on a diet or being following a certain routine or something, because I I started feeling like that this is the time when I've started loving myself, and I don't want to change that about like change that thing about myself. And like I want to be like this, and I want to love myself, and I don't want to change a thing about myself. And when we talked more and more about it, uh, Kushal actually helped me understand that this is, if you do this, it will help you love you more. And he could not have been more right. And
very few times I'm like,
yeah. And it was tough for me, but because he was a major motivator in my life for this, I think I connected with him like I had never connected before. I could talk about my fears, my vulnerabilities, why I don't want to go there, or what am I scared of, or like what can I do about it? How can I reach that next step? How can I, you know, be more loving to myself? And I think Kushal was a major supporter. That even when I was, even there, if there were days when I was not doing great, he was there, and he was there to understand me and again motivate me the next day that you can do this, Nitya. You are the only person who can do right by you, and I am here for you. And I will stay by you. I will eat what you will eat. I will work out with you. And you don't have to be alone ever in any journey of your life. And I think that connected me with him like never before.
That's touching. Nice. Kushal, tell me, what was her part in this thing? Right? So, when we are talking about relationship, how did it improve?
So first of all, it made us more active, right? So when we were going on travels, we both like to explore a lot, right? That try new things, try new experiences, not only food, right? When we go outside, and I think it made us appreciate more things around the world. And when we went out, we had more energy. We were able to go on longer things. We were able to explore nature more as well. We went on hikes, everything, which was, let's say, more troubling way earlier, right? Because we get this stop short of breath and everything, right? That held us from the journey to explore better. I think that made us more active when we go on weekends and everything. We can now plan more things, we can do more things. Previously, it was more limiting, I will say. I think that improved one thing. Second is that it also helped us connect over things which we have connected always, but it renewed our interest in few things. For example, cooking. We have always loved cooking together, but because of this, in a way, for that process, we had to jump into cook because we both love food and we didn't want to say that diet is bland food. You get bored after a while and you left out of it. So we both jumped in saying, let's cook new things, let's understand cooking. So that renewed a passion for cooking. So we cook together, we try to perfect recipes and things, and then we create that as a process, and then we let uh, maid prepare for it. So then we teach her how to do that as well. So that has helped us create more processes in our life, right? Fitness. I think that is something which doesn't get told very often, that you can go into journeys, but you have to find out those processes and parts which will take it forward.
Yeah.
I think we had done those building blocks together, and which had made us more connected. That it is okay to eat today, but how it is going to get reflected in tomorrow, right? So we create new things, we perfect it, and then we teach, that how to do it, so that we don't have to do it every time, right? And it becomes as an automatic process. I think we have started managing those life aspects as well together and started getting better at that.
Right. So basically, you created a system so that it's not solely dependent on you guys.
Yeah. You should find ways in which these things doesn't break the multiple fallbacks, right? Because life is going to throw unpredictable curveballs at you, right?
Exactly.
It is how life is designed to be, right? So you have to find different fallbacks so that if one gets breached, you get another. That gets breached.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I wanted to ask next is, what are those challenges you faced in this journey, or setbacks in this journey of transforming your lifestyle? So I know it's a journey, but yes, there are roadblocks which will come in, and then challenges. So what are those?
There has been, I think, some. First, I think we had to break out of our regular eating habits. That was very tough. Like, he is very fond of sweets, and I'm very fond of salty and like namkeen stuff, and also I'm very fond of that. And both are unhealthy. So we had to find alternate ways to still feel good about our food and about our journey, but not give in to like unhealthy habits and all. So I think for me, I found out how I can make healthier versions of snack times. Snack times are very tough for me, and like I think emotionally challenging evenings, because that time I'm generally busy working in office, and that time I like the most major meetings happening at that time of the day. That time whatever I'll find in food, I'll just grab it and have it. So I started preparing some things earlier, which are still easy to grab at that time, but which are not that healthy. So we started tending to those things, which are still like my namkeen love. So by going there, but in a healthier way, like lesser unhealthy versions of those things. For Kushal, like you can tell, how did you manage your sweet cravings?
So we found different ways to create new recipes, new different things around it, or we also started using portion control as a very good way. So, like we are talking, right, that the idea is to always move forward, right? But you cannot stop your life around it. And I think that is a conversation we regularly had. She went towards, will we be doing this all our life, right? I cannot see us doing all this our life. And then we started incorporating that why we cannot do this all our life. What are things which are stopping us? So because we are both big foodies, I think maintaining all that discipline every day was tiring. Sometimes it wore us down. So the way we incorporated it, the things which we like. So for example, if I like sweets, I might have it in a very small portion one time a week or something like that, right? Just one pop up of something, right? And we track it regularly so that we are aware of what we are putting in our body. Right. I think that is one of the most important habits which we saw transforming us. That if you track everything, I know it can become a little bit tiring. You have to find ways how to you manage it smartly, but that at least tells you what you're putting in your body in a way so that you manage, let's say, not day, then week, then a month or something. And that is how those setbacks, even let's say, right, didn't cost us high. Right? Because what had happened to me earlier, right, in my earlier journey, if I, let's say, start eating some sweet, right, I will eat half kg of it. That sets me back. But now I, let's say, have 1, 2 spoons, or let's say even, let's say, small bowl once in every bite. So that puts me there. Yeah, you are happy, you are doing everything right. So you have to find a way in which you can, let's say, satisfy yourself, but you don't go overboard because you have been, let's say, put under the chains. You should never feel like that. So you have to find ways, even if it delays your journey, right? It is still a journey. If you keep it more tight, everything, all hell is going to break loose and you are going to be very wrong. Right? Even during our journey, right? One of discipline is a setback. Sometimes you struggle with that. When you go out with friends, you go out with family, there's a lot of pressure on you, right? That why not take a break for today, right? And you can maintain it tomorrow. But helping them understand that no, it is not like that. It doesn't work like that on your
Consistency is
on your
important in this.
conscience, right? That I break today, I let's say resume it tomorrow. My discipline breaks, and that can break me. Yes. So those setbacks are something we try to manage. I think which is where us working together helped a lot. Some days I was weak, she helped me through it.
We were we were moral checks for each other also. That
Okay, are you doing it right? So
do
then,
you think it's
so
right for you? If you're just think about it once. We were there for like to remind that okay. Sometimes if someone is there just to remind in the weakness of a moment, sometimes you are like, okay, what will happen tomorrow? I'll eat maybe a little lesser, or I'll work out a little more. But that weak moment can actually lead to multiple weak moments like consecutively. And I think we were there for each other to tell each other that just think about it once more. We never stopped each other from
it is
doing
not
anything.
about controlling, but
It's
it
not
is
about
more
control.
about letting you know, have you thought it through? And is it okay if you, let's say, instead of a very big bite, can you portion control it? Right? So I think those reminders when you keep going on your journey, right, helps you stay grounded, helps you stay more rooted, right? And one setback which I had few months back is I got tennis elbow because of working out. I don't work out, let's say, very heavy, but it happened, right? Some negligence or something. So I stopped for a few weeks, but then I met you also. Then I also thought myself, I talked to people also that this cannot stop. These things are not which are going to stop. So why not find ways in which you still do it, but maybe do it less? Because these things will always come. Right? You cannot stop your life, your journeys because you get a setback. So we started working around it, understanding more resources, being more cautious, using, let's say, accessories to help avoid it, and it is going good.
Yeah, agree. So it's okay to slow down at times when you have certain kind of adverse situations. So, incidentally, this was what I was talking about in my yesterday's post, right? Yesterday, I this month I was not able to do I usually do a weekly 10K run, outdoor run. So yesterday this week was quite hectic travel and all. I couldn't do the run. So I thought I have to do at least one run of this month. So I started with my run yesterday morning. I was quite late, so it was like blazing hot.
Okay.
And first 2-3 kilometers, I was like, done, right? Where is 10K? So, but I can't quit. I don't want to quit because I did not do a 10K this month.
Yeah.
So yeah, compromise is that I slowed down.
Yeah.
Right. So it is. I generally don't like that. Also, I want to keep that pace and timing as well. But yeah, somehow I had to reach that goal, so I had to slow down so that to keep my energy going for the distance. Right. Because so that's exactly what you say as well, right?
It's
And I
better than
completely
giving
agree.
up.
It's better than giving up. Keep going. It's okay to slow down at time. You can always catch up as long as you're consistent and you reminding yourself that this is a journey.
Yes.
Moving inch is very, very important.
Yeah. That's very, very inspiring to hear this from you guys. Every time, this is what I love about such interactions. Every person I meet, they have such wonderful stories to share, and the discipline way you guys work as a couple in this journey is like uh, outstanding.
You need a lot of support.
Definitely.
Any journey
it's
needs
a
a lot of
lonely journey and you need a support.
Yes. All right. So when you started this, a lot of people find it difficult to even start. Okay, you both have started. You've gone through your ups and downs, and now you're in a phase of sustaining a lifestyle, right? So, what is that advice you want to give to someone who's struggling to start?
I'll go first. So I'll say, don't be shy to get help. I think in a society, getting help is not, let's say, seen in a very good light a lot of times, right? So if you are not an expert on something, it is okay to seek help because you should not optimize on day one. You have to get a small win on day one. So if you're struggling, get help and start on that journey. And when you are in that journey, then you'll figure out your ways to do better, be better than your help maybe, right? And then move forward. A lot of people start, I think, stuck in saying that, oh, I don't know what is the best way to do it. Right? What I, instead of 5 kgs, I lose only 3 kgs, right? But you're not going for the win, right? You have to start. And for that, if you are not able to do it, get help, which will help you because you need support, right? I think we haven't, I have done this journey multiple times, but I've not done it as long as this time because there was support both from, let's say, the people we are working with, us as a couple, which has kept us going. So I think get support. That is the number one thing which I'll tell people about it.
I think building on top of what Kushal said, I completely agree. Either you can get professional help. That I think that's amazing. That's great, and that will actually educate you, and you can actually be on the right path from the day one. But I think what can help is if you're struggling to start, find a single friend even. Find a single person who can join your journey. It can be your partner, it can be your child, it can be your parents, it can be your friend, it can be your colleague, it can be your boss, or it can be an unknown stranger as well. There are many support groups, there are many communities these days, help groups where you find like-minded people and they are also struggling to start. And if you can just connect with them and just make those goals together, I think uh, starting on this kind of journey with someone's support and help and someone who can understand you and your situation, I think that takes you a long way. Just convince a friend that okay, just come with me this time for gym, or maybe okay, let's go let's go for a healthy eating today. Let's for this weekend, let's not choose like a pub or something. Let's choose a place where we can eat a healthy thing, or some fruits or something, or salad, or maybe something great tasty, but let's explore a new thing. Just find a friend. I think that helps a lot, and that goes a long way. I think we also convinced a lot of our friends who were struggling to start, or whose weights were stuck, or who were not sure how to incorporate this in their lives. We started hosting a lot, like entertaining at our homes, and we never once, I think, when we called people, we served them junk. We always made ourselves like this is a healthy household. And trust me, you will come. I will not like send you back empty with an empty tummy. I'll feed you. I'll feed you good. You'll learn something new in my house.
Nice.
So we called a lot of people. We experimented with a lot of dishes, even small dips. Like instead of say mayonnaise or ketchup, can you use a hunker dip? Like so, we tried to incorporate those kind of things in our food, and we got that feedback from our friends, and we told them you can also do this. Try this.
So no daru parties, liquor parties at home.
It's very a tough topic these days, but we have tried to like be as healthy as possible and like just stay on an active like those things are actually not that good for your life, for your body actually. And like I told you that we are trying to respect our bodies more. I think try find alternates.
Okay.
They're great healthy drinks.
Okay. What are those?
Actually, I can tell you many.
Yeah, she made a very good watermelon mint mojito.
Mint mojito. I did not use any sugar even in that. Like you can use naturally sweet fruits like fruit. You can use fruits which are naturally sweet. Use their exploit their sweetness and muddle them with this basil or mint and use a little soda and put some ice in it and you'll find like it's crazy tasty. It's extremely simple recipe, but like it's crazy tasty and you don't have to put even a drop of sugar in it. So try those recipes.
Okay.
And we have also tried to identify those kind of things that sometimes people say that okay, don't take processed sugar, but take jaggery, take honey, take brown sugar, take the multiple other things. What we realized was maybe they are relatively less worse than the other thing, but they are still not great for you. They still give you that blood sugar spike. And educating ourselves on that was like game changer.
They are still glucose at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
So you have to also help people understand that jaggery doesn't mean that you go eat a mouthful. It is just that it is just less processed with this part.
But but someone if they're starting, they don't need to go as strict as that and change your daily life like that. It will break. You will break. It will not be a sustainable way. Find sustainable ways of maintaining health. I think sustainable health is the way to go.
Don't give your body sudden shocks.
Sudden shocks as the body goes in like fight or flight mode. It goes in survival mode, and it lowers your metabolism rate like anything because it goes in that survival mode. So don't starve yourself.
And one very interesting story happened that when we went through this journey, right, and we were able to transform our bodies a lot. So a lot of our friends also joined in, right, and they also lost some amount of weight, let's say, right. And when we went on a trip last December, right, and we were 2 weeks out there, right, in New Zealand, where but all of them, because of, let's say, adopting some sort of healthy habit, didn't eat as much junk as generally we used to eat. So people were mindful of can we have protein bars, can we have these things, can we have that thing, right, in journey. So that overall, when we ended journey, right, with friends, 6 friends, still we didn't gain much, maybe half a kg here and there. But otherwise, it would have been eat all sort of fest, right. That doesn't mean that we restricted ourselves to not have fun, right. But having a conscious mindset, right, help people to say that instead of, let's say, just munching on chips, can we get something wafers which are more protein rich, let's say, which are not that much processed or something. So I think that changes conversation. Like when you see results, people want to emulate those results, and overall, when they understand this process in detail, then they start contributing and become more conscious about it. I think that is a very interesting thing which we were not expecting. That we were a little worried about that. Since we are very still, we have always gone on trip alone, right? And we are able to manage our diet, but we were not sure that with friends how will it pan out. Will we able to eat along healthy lines or not, right? Or we only two will have to eat healthy, and it will make our discipline more harder. But we find out that this is not the case. If people are, let's say, active and conscious about it, right, which they started being conscious of it, helped.
Right. Wonderful.
So
Right. So, do you guys used to party, or do you continue to party? I mean, how about do you guys consume alcohol? Um, is that a thing in your life, or?
I think we do a lot of house parties. I think that age is also a factor in that. But I think we enjoy parties a lot. We like calling people at our homes and like having a night of board games and fun drinks, fun food, and just chatting up. I think we enjoy that a lot. It doesn't mean that we don't go out. We go out a lot as well, but there also we try to find what is best for us. Like uh, what can, like I mentioned earlier, we see menu in those terms that what does not, like what doesn't, what looks more attractive, but we have started looking at menus from the point of view what is best for us here, but still tasty.
And if there are some things which we find, oh, we have to absolutely go to try this, then we portion control it. Like, don't devoid yourself. Like, if you're going to a place which is, let's say, famous for the burgers, right? Very juicy, amazing burgers, then have a slice of it. Right? Why devoid yourself of, let's say, having the good things? Right?
Yeah.
So, like you see, right, that we have a lot of board games. So we
Right.
host people, we play a lot
Right.
of games. We find different ways, right, to make things more interesting, fun, add healthy snacking
Right.
in between. We do a lot of chips, dips, these kind of things, so that you still stay. So you should have fun, but can you make it more process oriented? Can you use those systems to help you automatically become better? Right. I think that is a goal which for years we would want to emulate. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we are trying for.
Yeah, it's a journey, right?
It's a journey,
we
definitely.
keep learning, and there are those times we'll have to let go of certain things, adjust, and then keep going. That's the fun. Otherwise, it can get too monotonous and too boring as well. Right?
Yeah.
You just sticking to a schedule, according to me, is also not easy always. Somewhere
Yes.
you'll have to let go. Be free.
I think it has proven for me, like it has kept me on that path because I didn't devoid myself of everything. Like there are some things that I like a lot or something, so I still have them sometimes, like very less, like less number of times, and very a lot of portion control I do there, but I don't devoid myself completely of those things so that I don't feel like that I'm missing out on life and my life is just passing by and I'm just staying healthy and it's not fun anymore. So that's what I've been trying. That eat the max, the major portion in my food should be healthy and balanced.
Right.
But if I have gone somewhere else in someone else's home or something, and if they're serving something which I like a lot, maybe can I have only one bite of it or just one piece or something? So I still feel happy, but and I don't lose sight of what's more important.
Wonderful. Good. Okay. So, yes, we covered, I think, those important things I wanted to talk to you about. Before um, we sign out for this conversation, what is that one piece of advice you want to give to people uh, to lead on how to lead a healthy and sustainable lifestyle like yours? Um, I wouldn't say one is difficult. Say three things that they can follow easily and start their journey.
Like I think maybe I can get a little technical here. Like just start on these couple of things. If you don't even know much, just start on these things. Cut down on your sugars. One, just try. Cut down on your sugars. Second, cut down on fried foods in India, which is like a lot. People love fried foods, but try cutting down on it. Maybe try baked foods or steamed foods instead of those things. So maybe that. And third is um, cut down on things like which has a lot of starch, say potatoes or something. If you want to still have that kind of fleshy and meaty flavor in your dishes, maybe switch for now for two sweet potatoes. They are a little healthier than regular potatoes. Maybe try going there. So if you just want to start and you don't know anything else about how to have lesser processed things or lesser bad things in your food, just avoid sugars, fried foods, and potatoes. And yeah, processed. Anything that is coming out of a packet, it's not good. Trust me, it's not good. Even when they're saying it is, it's not that great.
Agree. Okay.
I'll take a different route from right. So I'll say ki first get help if needed, right? On your own, if you can do it, or if you want to get help, get it. Second, be honest about what you are doing, right? If you are, let's say, veering off the path, it is perfectly fine. Just keep journaling it, keep tracking it or something, right? So that you can get a better sense of it and it will help you understand it. Third is that it's a long journey. Don't think of achieving with tight goals, right? For example, I was very, very lucky enough that I lost this in 6 months. Even people around me were very surprised. What the hell is happening right
He
now?
was the golden boy for me.
That time I a balloon that you were just pinching it out, right? I lost 14 kgs in 3 months. People were like, who met me after a few months, they said, you, what happened? Right. So I'm saying that I have been lucky in that journey, right? But it doesn't matter that you are not looking at months, right? You are looking at year, decades long journey, right? Because what you are trying at the end of the way is that if you are looking to live a long life, can you live it in a happier, better way instead of let's say you fell down at age of 50, right? You broke yourself and now you're unlivable for next 30 years. That is your goal. Your goal is not to reduce weight. Your goal is long term how to live better. So don't look, people look at it as a very, very month journey, right? Yeah, I need to lose X kgs in 6 months or something and they punish themselves and then they drop out of it. So I'll say get help. Be honest about things so that it will help you plan better. And third is that you should look this as a long journey. If you are making small progress today, there are tons of things which will help you make more progress even tomorrow. But you don't need to do everything on day one, which makes people overwhelmed and they step out of the channel. I think that's what I'll say, that having these guidelines in mind, then you can adjust according to your personality. What do you feel where you are, right?
And one thing I want to add here, don't compare your journey with others. I think this was a mistake I did initially. I was comparing my journey with Kushal, even though we started around the same time, but he was losing much more kgs and much faster than I was. It uh, it actually put me like a little in a distress that what am I doing wrong with my body? Why is your body responding this good and why is my body not responding that good? It took me some time to accept this, that my body is very different than his and I should not compare my journey with his. And I should just focus on my journey, what is my goal and how do I want to reach it, and I should not compare mine with his. I think that helped me a lot. That pulled me out of that distress and I was able to sustain my journey a lot.
And I think last thing is, we are talking about weight loss, right? But it is just a proxy, because you are just able to measure it better, right? Yeah, I'm losing weight. But in the end, you are not going for weight loss. You are going for a better life, right? You are going for better energy levels, right? Let's say no headache. When we were doing this, right, my goals were different from her. So I had a chart where I had weight for each week, but I also had energy level, no headaches week, and things like that. And even there were weeks where I was not losing weight. I could see that my energy levels, my headache level, whatever mattered for me was doing very good. Right? So a lot of people lose track of that. They start weight loss as a proxy to become better, but then focus on that weight as a number. That why weight is not a good. If you are able to turn your life around that, right, then weight is just a number. That was not your goal. It was just an easy measuring thing, because we don't have, let's say, very scientific way to measure energy levels, happiness level, other levels. So people somehow forgets that and get into the number game. It is it is good there. But like I am learning, right, that was step one of my journey. I achieved it in 6 months. The step two is now to gain weight, now to gain more muscle, right? So that when I get more older, right, I'm not burning through my muscles that much that if I, let's say, fall, right, it just breaks me, right? It is able to shield me from disease, everything. Since these things are not measurable in our society, we use weight as a number, and people just get fixed there. So I think that is my last advice to people, that this is a proxy. It is about making better in your life, right? So just be mindful of what else it is bringing to your life. Don't just stick to that as a number.
That's it. That's perfect. I think great input, guys. I think this is one of the most inspiring interviews I've had, and you as a couple are amazing. Right? Um, as Kushal said, weight loss is just just something which we measure, but through the journey we build a better life, and you guys have also become better human beings in this journey. That's what is very, very inspiring and touching for me.
You have been
The
always
journey.
very gracious with your words.
Yeah, you're very kind.
No, seriously, it's you don't hear this often. People say, "Hey, I do this, I do that," but the way you guys have changed uh, from within, that is something I don't hear very often, right? Though it happens, people don't realize it. The journey towards health and fitness is not always the looks. It changes happen internally, but people are too busy to go inward and see what are the changes that are happening. But you're not that old to get into all these things, but you guys still have gone through that internal journey, which is lovely.
Thanks a lot. We didn't want to wait for a health scare for us to start our journey. We wanted to avoid it. We fought off our diseases. Our health metrics went up. I think those were our major winners. Rather than just weight loss, like our health metrics got really better. And
So I had a lot of cholesterol at 90. Sugar level was spiked up. But a year later, now everything is golden.
Beautiful. That's so nice. All right. Thank you so much for
Thanks a
being
lot,
a part of this
Saravanan.
conversation. And all the very best. Live a wonderful life. Right. I'm happy to have such great neighbors, such great neighborhood celebs. Right. Thank
Thanks,
you for
you're
being
so
a part
kind.
of.
We'll always bother with you more queries, more tips and everything.
We're definitely gonna be bugging you.
Yeah. Always there. Good. Thank you, guys.